Known for its mysterious pyramids, magnificent gods, and hieroglyphs, the story of the founding of the ancient Egyptian empire holds many secrets. The existence of the Scorpion King, the first dynasty founder of this fascinating civilization, has been questioned by historians. So, what was the role of this mysterious Scorpion King in the formation of the ancient Egyptian civilization? Let's discover together. Around 3200 BCE, in the Nile River Valley, southwest of the land of Sumer and south of the Mediterranean coast, Egypt's first empire building began. Narmer, also known as the Scorpion King, was the pharaoh who established the first dynasty in Egypt during this period. The Scorpion King was a member of an African people who lived on both sides of the Nile Valley. Centuries before his birth, the Nile Valley had become uninhabitable. Heavy rains in the southern mountains caused extreme flooding along the Nile. So groups of people lived mainly on suitable land to the east and west, along the Red Sea coast and in the Sahara. The Sahara at that time had a rainy and temperate climate. Over time, warmer and drier weather changed the Sahara. With less rainfall, the Nile floods moderated, and the Sahrawi people migrated eastwards towards the Nile Valley. They built cisterns and canals to collect water during the flood season and irrigate fields during the dry season. They settled on the banks, planted crops in the black silt left by the floods, and hunted wild animals in the reeds. Other peoples from the western shores of the Red Sea also settled in the Nile Valley. These were the first Egyptians, the first full-time inhabitants of the Nile Valley. Unlike the Sumerian land, the Egyptians had natural resources such as game, fish, stone, copper, gold, flax, papyrus. They traded ivory with the west, oyster shells with the east, and semi-precious stones with the north, but the Nile Valley was enough to sustain them. In 3200 BC, Egyptian cities experienced a population boom. The most powerful city in the south was Nut, on the way to the gold mines. These cities were not sovereign in their own right, but defined themselves as part of a kingdom called the White Kingdom. In the north of Egypt, the cities came together to form a union called the Red Kingdom. The world is made up of balanced and opposing forces. This fact was reflected in Egyptian civilization. The two kingdoms were united under the leadership of the White King. The carving symbolizing this union contains the image of a king named Narmer. Narmer brought the Red Kingdom under the White Kingdom. This unification marked an important turning point in Egypt's civilizational history. The unification of the two Egyptian kingdoms gave birth to the world's first and longest lasting empire. Manetho, who documented this historic achievement, identified Narmer as the first king of Egypt and divided the rulers of Egypt into groups. He determined the beginning of each group or dynasty when a new family came to power or the kingdom changed places. The Scorpion King ruled for 64 years and went on a traditional hippo hunt to prove his power. During this hunt, he was trapped and killed by a hippopotamus. This event marked the end of the rule of Egypt's first unified king. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications for more videos.